People inside the bubble get protected by the law. People outside the bubble harmed by the law. That's the plan. That is the entire way they want the system to work. Bad news. The Supreme Court may throw out hundreds of Jan 6 convictions. The case would also erase one of the biggest charges former President Donald Trump now faces. So, as usual, the conservatives bend the rules, bend the law, break the definitions of words to get what they want. Here's how they're going to do it this time. Joseph Fisher allegedly entered the U.S. Capitol along with more than 2,000 others in an effort to stop the counting of the electoral votes that was already underway. Fisher wasn't there in his official capacity as a police officer. No, he was there as a terrorist. With the North Cornwall Township Police Department in Pennsylvania, he was there to protect messages he sent that were later cited in a filing by the Department of Justice lawyers, take Democratic Congress to the gallows. He texted his friend, said he was going to take Democratic Congress to the gallows. That's where you hang people. He's sending his friends, he's talking to his friends about how he's going to hang the elected representatives of the United States government because he lost an election that he feels like he shouldn't have lost. There's no evidence proving that Donald Trump won. It's only feelings that this guy has. So his feelings are leading him to violently overthrow the United States government. He is literally a terrorist. The actual definition, not the fake one that they use to spy on you. Another quote from him, can't vote if they can't breathe. Lol. That's very lol. I'm glad he lolled out loud at that one. Fisher allegedly wrote in another text message about his plans before Jan 6, before he got there, before this shit
Sounds
happened.
like the ones they build at the Capitol.
Yeah, like the one they built there. Fisher pushed his way into the building with yells of "Charge! Charge!" he said. Once inside, he crashed into the line of police officers. According to the cell phone video he recorded, Fisher and at least one police officer were knocked to the ground. Police removed him 4 minutes later. Later identified by one of his co-workers, Fisher was arrested by federal officers on February 19, 2021. He was charged with multiple felonies, but has still yet to go to trial. That's because he appealed one of the charges all the way to the Supreme Court, which will hear arguments on April 16th. So that is 3 days from now. He's going to be at the Supreme Court arguing the most technical of technicalities. Wait till you find out. It's amazing what he's arguing. He's arguing about the word, a single specific word, otherwise. Just that. Otherwise. His entire case rests on exactly that word and its position within the law. And because conservatives have no values and don't care about what happens, they will gladly and willingly change the definition of that word and how it's used in this particular case to get him off. Because that's what they will do. That's what they want to do. That's what they will always do. Because conservatives don't care about what's right. They don't care about what's lawful. They don't care about what's correct. The law is only to protect the in-group, which this guy is definitely a part of, and harm the out-group. But this law, if they let it stand, will harm somebody on the in-group. So they have to change the definition of the law. This is what they do every single time. The law reads, whoever corruptly alters, destroys, mutilates, or conceals a record, document, or other object, or attempts to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability for use in an official proceeding, or otherwise, there it is, obstructs, influences, or impedes any official proceeding, or attempts to do so. So, to the normal human brain, this is what he did. He obstructed, influenced, or impeded the official proceeding, that being the counting of the electoral votes. He did that. But this is what he did, and it says you can't do that. But his cockamamie, bullshit, conservative, protect the in-group lawyer and judges have suggested that the word otherwise means that you have to do this to a record. They have to connect the two. And if you influence, impede an official proceeding, but it doesn't have anything to do with a record or document, then you're off scot-free, not a crime, you get to do whatever the hell you want. They won't use this if it came to BLM protesters or any other civil rights type of protest. No. You get the book thrown at you then. You're outside the group, remember? You're outside. You're an outsider, so the law harms you. But Nichols here is an insider. He is one of the people we like, so they put him in a bubble that's protected by the law. This is the way it will always be. It's as long as we allow conservative types and Republicans to be involved with the law. They will always create it. You're listening on YouTube. Thanks for coming in, Jules. Appreciate it. The Supreme Court, in about 3 days, is going to argue over the word otherwise. Now, otherwise actually does have like a definition within law books and stuff like that, because I was reading about that too. It does have a meaning, and it is used in certain situations. They're going to change what that is to get what they want, because they don't care.
I mean, it's his lawyer's job to protect their client, whether or not that defense will hold up. Well, see.
Well, why did it hold up in so many cases, so many courts? Why does it keep going up and up and up and up? It should have been stopped already. They should have said, no, that's nonsense. Get out. No, you can't go to the Supreme Court. They're pushing to go to that Supreme Court intentionally because they know that the people on the Supreme Court, and I'm
because
absolutely coming out.
Lower courts are trash.
Well, lower court's trash. Well, the highest court is also trash. Boss, that's the point I'm about to get to. The lower courts are trash. The medium courts are trash. The higher court are trash. Why are they trash?
Capo G42 by design.
By design, by Republican design. Damn right. The Republicans have turned those lower courts into trash. They've turned the medium courts into trash. They've turned the higher courts into trash. And they've turned the highest court into trash. That is Republicanism on purpose, turning those things into trash so that they can have the system that they want. People inside the bubble get protected by the law. People outside the bubble get harmed by the law. That's the plan. That is the entire way they want the system to work. Donald Trump is inside the bubble. This Nichols guy is inside the bubble. Straight white Republicans are inside the bubble. Anybody who's not a straight white Republican is outside the bubble and gets harmed. That's the entire plan. That is their entire build-up. That is why the Federalist Society exists. That's why they do the things that they do. That is why I continue to say that they aren't interested in law or order. They're not law. They're not order. They want what they want.
I disagree. State courts are equally trash. Even state Supreme Courts have some of the most garbage legal theories I've seen, regardless of party.
Is there a reason for that? When I get upset about it, it's generally because the Republicans are breaking the law, breaking the rules, and they're building this bubble and harming the people outside the bubble. That's the way that I see it. That's the things that keep popping out in the headlines. Hey, the rules all changed, and it's to benefit the Republican types. The rules changed, and it's to help the people who broke the law.
The reason is being a lawyer judge is hard.
I agree that it's hard, and I want them to do a good job. I want them to be facing these moral difficult decisions and making correct judgments based on the law. What I don't want them to do is redefine the word otherwise. That's what they're doing here. They're redefining the word otherwise, not to get a better understanding of the law. They're not doing that to properly put the law in place so that we can all have a better system for everyone. They're doing it to help conservatives. It's why they're doing it. It's the purpose of these people right now. These conservative lawyers, these conservative judges, these conservative people need to be protected, and we have to do something to protect them. Man, he is clearly a criminal. He is clearly a terrorist. He is more than willing to use violence to get his political ends, and we shouldn't allow it. It shouldn't be okay. But what's going to happen is he's going to get off. Then hundreds and thousands of more of them are going to get off, and then Donald Trump's going to say, hey, look, see, they were hostages. And then the people are going to do it again, and they're going to harm our country. What good is the law if conservatives keep breaking it to benefit themselves? What good is it? Why have this giant, complicated system if Republicans just get to do what they want anyway? It's kind of a downer.
Yeah, the one line out of context reads to apply to them. My question is, does the context seem to apply to them?
Yes. And if it doesn't, what good is the law? We should all just abandon it. If you can't write this shit and use it to hold people accountable for the things on January fucking 6th, of all the fucking things, if this guy were doing a very tiny little thing in his taxes that was in a gray area, I wouldn't be upset about this. He literally stormed the Capitol and did a terrorism. And there's some courts that are about to throw it out. And that's not okay. If that right here isn't illegal. Fuck off. There is no
Disagree.
laws.
This law seems to be about testimony. There should be another law about obstructing election proceeding.
And if there isn't, he gets off, and then we have to create a new one. I say hold him responsible for this one, then make a new one, and lower his sentence. Fine. There's not a good law. I mean, we have billions of pages of law, and we can't fucking find one that makes this motherfucker illegal right here. This shit's illegal. It just is. Fuck off. This is illegal.
If there isn't a law about something, then yeah, Congress has to make laws before they convict you of them. But he's not a scary shade of brown. How could be a terrorist?
I think this law applies. It seems like it does. I
agree, it's insane if there's no law about this.
Hold him responsible. Hold him in oh yeah, there you go. How about, okay, so
Joking.
Compromise. I know. Compromise. What if we hold him in in
but
Gitmo?
Congress incompetence never ceases to amaze.
Right. So we'll hold him in Gitmo because we don't know what to do with any of those people either. And then when Congress creates a law that applies to him, we can say, okay, this is the law, this is the decision we've made, and count it as a time served for the several years he was there. And if it's a 5-year sentence and he's only been there for 3, we put him into another kind of thing for 2. If it's a 2-year sentence and he's been there for 5, then he gets to sue them for 3 years or something like that, and then the Congress will pay him back. But anyway, the point is, this can't be allowed, and it needs to be stopped by law. I have a feeling that, just like Pope Hog is talking about,
pretty sure no ex post facto laws is kind of a big thing in the Constitution, so you can't pass it now and convict him of it.
Well, I wouldn't pass it now. I would put him into a do we put him in jail for the thing that he did? Well, only if there's a law against it. So I can't imagine that there's no fucking law against this. That shit has to be illegal. It fucking has to. He overthrew the government. Put him on fucking terrorist charges. Aren't there fucking 1,000 fucking laws about terrorism? He literally did violence for a political gain. Fucking bring him up on charges for that. But again, the conservatives are going to break, and even then, the conservatives would do the same thing. They would bend the rules. They would bend the words. They would find another word similar to otherwise to ignore it because they don't care. They want their side to be immune from laws and the other side to be harmed by the laws. That's the entire conservative argument. That is every one of their goals. That's their aim. That's the direction they're going in all situations.
For anyone who swore an oath to the Constitution IT edition, which carries a 20-year sentence.
They get him on that one. He was a police officer. So is he breaking any rules or regulations or laws that police officers, or any breaking some sort of oath towards the Constitution? I bet he took one as a law enforcement officer. So he's probably doing that. Did he assault anybody? Did he trespass? Even trespassing, I know, isn't a very huge thing, but maybe trespassing during a riot.
They're hard-pressed to label him a domestic terrorist because that standard could held against more of their own.
I agree with you. They don't want to bring him up on those charges because the Republicans, would have to put all of these people up there for that. And that would be thousands of people who are, I mean, there's already hundreds in jail for doing the things, for the Jan 6 stuff. And again, this is the Republicans trying to make it okay. A bad thing happened, and they're trying to smooth it over. And they're trying to cover it up. They're trying to, not cover it up, but like gloss over it, you know? They're trying to make it smooth, make it not a terrorism thing. Donald Trump said it was a bad idea when on January 7th he said it was a bad thing that should have happened.
I didn't know he's a cop. Why isn't he charged with sedition? Give that fucker the max.
Yeah, he's a Pennsylvania police officer, but he was off duty at the time. Oh, hi. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. The algorithm loves it when you watch it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to keep the algorithm happy, and I know you do, press the subscribe button, press the thumbs up button, leave a comment, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, and let's all keep that algorithm happy. Thanks. Have a good day.